UK's number 10, BlackBerry.
So we didn't review this last week because we had a ton of stuff going on. So this is like After Air and Tetris. This is the latest drama about copywriting a modern product.
Oh my God, I was going to joke that is this a movie about a mobile phone?
Yeah. Well, because it's, yes, BlackBerry, which was kind of wiped out by the rise of mobile phones. So this is co-written by Matt Johnson, who's an indie filmmaker behind things like The Dirties, and it's adapted from a book called Losing the Signal, the untold story behind the extraordinary rise and spectacular fall of BlackBerry. And it starts with these two Ontarians, Mike and Doug. They're attempting to sell their new kind of Palm Pilot Pocket Link device to Jim Basile. They're played by Jay Baruchel, Matt Johnson, who is the director and co-writer, and Glenn Howerton. And they are basically tech doofuses. They run this research in motion company like a creche. They have movie nights. They throw stuff around. He initially gives them, short shrift, but then he comes back after getting fired from his company and says, okay, I will take you on as long as I can be CEO of the company, and I'm given half the company. And they agree and promptly find themselves making and selling more BlackBerries than the network can handle. And the more he sells, the more the network can't handle it, and hostile takeovers are looking back. And here's a quick clip.
Mike?
Hi.
There are 3 reasons why people buy our phones. Do you know what they are?
Email.
They work!
Yeah, okay. It's not us, Jim. It's the carrier. Verizon is doing something weird.
Okay, well, I'm about to do something weird if you don't fix this. Now! The deal was, I get the engineers, you shrink the data!
Are you selling more phones?
What the hell do you think I've been doing over here, Mike? We're in the middle of a hostile takeover! I need to have somebody babysit you, dork!
Okay. So that's... Okay. Yeah, the entire system is crashing. He's selling more phones.
God damn it!
Yeah, so... Okay.
Maybe just hold off selling more phones.
I'm not
And then the rest of the film is basically, on the one hand, he's doing the sell. The kind of slacker guy is doing the, no, we don't want to do this. And then the main guy is kind of stuck in the middle. So there are echoes of Social Network, which it's a scrappy company with 2 guys at the center, and then they get torn apart by the success. There is and the plot actually coincides with Steve Jobs, and as the iPhone comes along. Other things happen in the tech world that basically, the story of BlackBerry is basically it was huge until iPhones arrived, and then suddenly there weren't. So anything that's in that area, you kind of basically, I don't think it's really funny that you think I was going to joke this was about BlackBerry. No, it really is. And there's also a bit of dumb money in it, in that it's, it's guys in basements wearing headbands and funny T-shirts doing things that will change the world around them. There's also a kind of underlying thing about he's an indie filmmaker. These guys are a scrappy indie tech. He's actually playing one of them. So there's a kind of thing about indie cinema. The best description of this is my colleague Wendy Ide at The Observer coined this word, and I think it's brilliant. She said, when she was talking about this and Tetris and this whole sort of series of movies in Air about the sneaker, she calls them biopics, B-U-Y, biopics. Yeah. And I think that's absolutely what they are. They are biopics. They are like the life story of a product that we buy and is meant to change. I kind of enjoyed this. It was fun. You heard from that. The tone is kind of ripe and comic. But I never had a BlackBerry, so I
found them bizarre because they had an entire QWERTY keyboard on them.
Yeah.
That just seemed like too many buttons.
Yeah, and then...
They were really wide, weren't they?
Yeah, they were a big thing. Apparently they were secure. I don't know, because I'm very, very slow to tech. So by the time I knew what a BlackBerry was, it had already been, the iPhone just wiped it out.
Yeah, almost overnight.
Yeah, exactly. Interestingly, went, you've just got a piece of glass.
There was a period where just before the iPhone wiped out the BlackBerry, lots of people still had BlackBerries.
Yeah.
And this whole new wave of people were getting iPhones. And it was at that point, I know this because I'm sat here today because I was a super fan of the old version of this show. And I spoke about it in The Observer, which the redactor-in-chief must have read. And I got a call, come in and take Simon's place.
Right.
When he's away,
Well.
So I remember back in the day, you and Simon, I can't remember which of you it was, discussing, because you don't want to overbrand on the BBC, fruit-based devices
that was
such
Simon.
as BlackBerries
that was absolutely
and Apples,
Simon.
Anything else that might have a fruit. It was probably Simon.
It was
absolutely That's where it comes
Simon.
from. I think now when people hear it, they assume that it's just a reference to Apple. But actually,
you're right.
BlackBerry's a big part of
fruit,
fruit-based device birth.
Well, there we go.
Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. While you're here, check out all the other videos because they're cool too, aren't they?
Yeah, and if you want to keep up to date with everything Kermode and Mayo's take, then check out our social channels.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, I would. I have done.
Excellent.